back to the Carolina CRE podcast. I'm Phil Huffman, your host. We are on, I believe, episode. I don't even know, man. It's August 13th, Thursday, beautiful Thursday morning here. I'm in Southern Pines, North Carolina. I'm here with Ty Martin. Ty, you're over in the Charlotte area, right?
Yes, sir. Mooresville, just north of Charlotte, off Lake Norman.
All right, beautiful area, obviously. Now, is that a real background there? Is that your real
Yeah,
background, or is that
yeah.
that's
This is our
that's pretty
office.
great?
Got the old school parked here, and it's pretty cool. We're kind of in like a almost like an industrial type of feel, but it's basically a barn dominium that you can't live in.
Yeah, well, that's one of the. I'm not going to lie to you. That's probably the best background I've seen of any of these we've recorded. So well done.
I love it. I think you'd love it if I turned the camera around. We got a golf simulator up there.
Let's
It's
do
a
it. Come
really
on.
cool place. I don't think I can because the way my
Okay.
computer's tethered, but you have to get out here and see it because this is a really cool place to work. And I think that in general, especially with leading a team, if you create an environment that people want to be in, you know, you're beating half of the battle right there.
I totally agree, Ty. Most of the audience knows my main job is I coach commercial real estate leadership teams, but I 100% encourage them. I'm like, listen, work from home's fine to a degree, but we got to get people together. We got to get them in a place where they can be collaborative and
Yeah,
creative, and an environment like that with a ton of natural light and a really great little asset in the back of your. I guess that'd be your right shoulder. Pretty
yeah.
cool there. If you can't see it, if you're just listening here, what's the car?
It's a 1988 Mercedes 560 SL. Actually, kind of a cool story with this. I'm business partners in this brokerage business with my best friend. I just got back from his wedding, and him and I played lacrosse together in college. And maybe, I don't know, 3 or so years ago, went down to visit him. He was like, "Hey, man, we should take a ride in my dad's old car." I'm like, "Cool." It's South Florida. We grabbed the coffee in the morning, and it was one of these. And I had never
Hmm.
sat in one. I actually wasn't even really familiar with this car at all. But anyway, Angelo also has one, and me and him went for a cruise that morning. And I'm like, whatever it takes, I need to get one of these. They're super affordable and they're a great car, so I love it.
Yeah, I had a buddy that was stationed at Camp Lejeune, probably I don't know 2010ish, and he had one. And I mean, they're small, and I'm
Yeah,
I'm a
they're
bigger
small.
guy,
That's for
but
sure.
they're fun to whip around.
Yeah, no doubt. It's a good Sunday
So
driver.
yeah, absolutely. So, well, Ty, thanks for joining. Full disclosure, Ty and I don't have any previous relationships, so I'm getting to know him just as well as y'all are today. But he's a Philly guy, so we're going to talk about Phillies baseball for the next half hour. I'm just kidding. I'm a Phillies fan. I've probably mentioned that before, but Ty, tell us about you, man. Like, how'd you get here? How'd you get in the industry? Start from the bottom
Yeah.
and give us the story.
Absolutely. So this business, I completely stumbled upon. I was going for my master's at St. Joe's up in Philly. My former company that I was working for was actually paying for my master's, so I was really incentivized to go earn that degree. Even though, at that point in my life and career, I had just graduated college. I didn't really know where I was going to go or what I was going to do with my life. I still don't know. I'm 31, right? I was
Yeah.
22 at the time, so was going for my master's and my class had gotten canceled. And I had just driven from Jersey to Philly for this night class. I was a little frustrated about class getting canceled and was walking to the library to start writing the paper. And as I was walking there, I just heard like a really loud event, like just some chatter going on down the hall. And I walk into this random auditorium. And it's basically a speed networking event. And to this day, I'm so thankful that I walked into that room because I don't know where my life would have taken me otherwise. When I walked in there, it was for undergraduate students. Like most things, I don't care if it's not an exact fit. I'll go to networking events today that might not seem like they would bring business my way. They tend to. It's just how life kind of rewards you. But when I walked in there, first two people I met were both commercial real estate brokers by pure luck. One guy was retired from CBRE, had his own firm, was kind of doing a deal here and there, but was more just there to mentor and help people. The next guy had his own firm that he had ran with his partners for, I think, close to 30 years at that point. To this day, still one of my largest mentors. His name's Pete Davison with Jackson Cross Partners right up in Delaware. But anyway, me and him started chatting, and he got me just very excited very fast. He basically said to me, regardless of who you go work for? He wanted to hire me. He's like, I can tell within 5 seconds you're a salesperson. You're meant for this
Yeah.
business. I happened to be going for my real estate license already at that time because I had just bought my first condo. And I just, at that time, thought, hey, I'll do this on the side. It's a great form of side income. I can represent myself on any properties I buy. I never had even thought about commercial real estate. But from then on, I could basically tell you I've committed my whole life. It's like a transition in a whole mindset. And that was December of 2018. January of 2019, I entered this business and I have not looked back.
Oh, that's great, man. I like that.
Yeah.
And you can see if you follow Ty online, he's got a great LinkedIn presence, and you can tell how passionate he is about the industry. So, all right. So you're a tenant rep. You told me before
Yes,
we
sir.
hit the record button that you believe that's the best position in the industry. Tell me about that.
I do, especially for entering and earning income, quickly or quicker, I guess I would say. The thing about this industry, and I'm very outspoken about this online, and look, I actually get a ton of flack for this. I went back and forth with a buddy of mine for almost 2 hours last night with him bashing what I say online. And at the end of the day, I could tell you right here, I could care less about any other broker's opinion on this because it's worked for me and I only care about the young people entering this industry. The reason I think tenant rep's the best place to start is it is the most accessible part of this business. Canvassing, going out and talking to business owners and business leaders is as easy as getting in your car, driving out to an industrial park or an office building or a retail strip mall or whatever it may be, and knocking on doors and walking into businesses. For me, because I will talk to anyone, it was a very easy way for me to start. On top of that, you can still cold call and you can still have success that way. In my opinion, there are so many people focused in investment sales and selling these buildings, and that's great. But because of how competitive it is and because of how exhausted these owners are, I personally feel like it's just a better position to be in coming from a place of, I can help your business. I'm not going to charge you. I never turn to my clients for a fee. Landlords, generally speaking, pay tenant rep fees. And the reason I really love this business or this space within the business is because you're able to stack almost residuals. So if I work on a 5-year deal, which I worked on a ton at the start of my career, in year 8, year 6, 7, and 8, those 5-year deals I worked on in year 1, 2, and 3 are coming up. I'm working through renewals. Maybe I'm working through relocations. But the beauty of that is just it's unmatched because when I do a deal, I just worked on a 60,000 square foot industrial lease. I know in 7.5 years when that lease expires, I have a renewal to work on. As long as I do my job for the next 7.5 years, staying on top of my client, keeping them up to speed with what's going on in the market, reviewing our lease that we signed and comparing it to the market. In 7.5 years, I have another deal to work on. And it's an extremely exciting position to be in. That's why I love tenant rep.
Yeah, I love it. No, that makes a lot of sense. I love how passionate you are about it. So what brought you to the Charlotte area?
It's such a cool story. So we're obviously part of Keller Williams. We
Hmm.
work on a lot of the Keller Williams leases for the offices there in the market centers. I was lucky enough to meet the gentleman that owns the Keller Williams offices around the lake here. Him and I became very close. I helped him with a lease here in Mooresville, where I'm standing right now. Uh, 2 Decembers ago, my wife and I came down just to check out the area. It was December, slower time in the industry. Hey, let's go check it out. Let's see what's going on. And we fell in love with this area, as anyone that comes to, I think this area does. Most people come down here and they just absolutely love it. So it was a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. I'm only 2 hours down the road from you. My wife's from the Charlotte area, and Lake Norman's obviously a beautiful area. So, all right, I want to ask you about something here. One of the things I enjoy, we talked about your LinkedIn presence, is uh, you like to poke the bear on tenants or
Yes.
on broker splits. I love that. I love that you are willing to go against the grain there. Talk about that.
Yep. So again, being a younger person as far as this industry is concerned in general, and just any career, I still feel like 31, you're still in the first half of the game. It maybe the first quarter, depending on how
Definitely.
long you plan to
Yeah.
work and how much you invest in real estate, and if that's going to allow you to retire, right? Being a 31-year-old, I've been offered by every firm out there. I mean, I always laugh at this because a lot of the big shop guys and gals, act like I have not been offered and have pieces of paper that show me what my deal would look like if I went there. Being someone that's produced a couple $100 million worth of leases in my career. And the reason I say that is I find that young people in this business get taken advantage of by the companies that they're at. First example of this. There should not be the same split for if the company generates a lead versus if the broker generates a lead. That should not be split on the same level. I don't believe that's fair. Because even if the company gives you all of the resources that you need to transact and prospect, if you go out and earn your own business, I personally believe that should be at a higher split. That's the first one. The second thing I don't believe in is having more than one split on a deal. So when I work on a deal, right, if I work at blank firm and I have a senior partner, I'm splitting it with the senior partner, then I'm also splitting it with the company. Well, what if I'm working on it with another one of my teammates? Now I'm taking that deal, I'm splitting it with my teammate, then my senior partner, then the company. I just personally believe that the reason you get into this business is to earn a great living, and you could probably out-earn what you would make in your first 7 years by going and working a finance job. And the whole thing about this is I'm not willing, year 8 broker right here, I was not willing to mortgage my 20s to learn the business to now have a shot to really make some great money at 30. I just don't find that to be the reason you get into the business. I got into the business to earn great income throughout my 20s and buy a bunch of real estate, which I did, start a bunch of other businesses, which I did, and now sit here at 31 and say, man, even if I just was a broker, not a leader of a team, here I am. I have all of this experience and all this under my belt. Now let's go and continue to hunt. So I'm outspoken about it. People hate on it. People that really sit down and talk to me and look at the deal and the benefits that we have for our guys. And I don't mean like health benefits. I mean the benefits of being able to do more and open up the game a little bit more. I think it's a no-brainer for people. I will say one other thing, not to go on too long.
No,
I
please.
don't believe in only being able to work on one type of transaction. Everyone should specialize. First person to tell you that right here. Everyone should specialize in this business. It's how you will earn more business. But you should not be disallowed from doing any other types of deals. So if I'm an office tenant rep, if anyone asks, that's who I am to my core. I just worked on that 60,000 square foot industrial lease. If that lead came into me, if I get that opportunity at another firm, having to hand that over and take a referral on it and then split that referral, like it's ridiculous. And it, again, super devalues the brokers that are in this business. I'm sorry. I don't care what anyone says. You can learn how to transact any type of deal, any asset class. I will not do multifamily deals, me personally. It's just a completely different realm. But I'm sorry for anyone that wants to pretend like an office lease is so different from a retail lease and it's so different from an industrial lease. You're lying to yourself because you were lied to. And that's what they tell you to keep you in your lane, focused on your stuff. I just don't believe in it. I don't believe in it, personally.
Yeah,
So
no, I appreciate that. All
I
right,
am
so
passionate.
yeah, with that, kind of in that vein, kind of talk about what you got, what your house is like there in
Yeah,
at KW and Lake Norman.
yeah. So the thing that I love about KW is you have the ability to truly be an entrepreneur. One of KW's taglines is where entrepreneurs thrive. And a lot of people and a lot of the brokers that I talk to, they think that we operate the same way as a blank other firm, super large firm. We don't at all. KW has been built on a residential background, allowing a great residential realtor to come into the business, start a team, grow that team, create their own splits within their team, right? And really build their own business within this brand. And you see it all the time. My former business partner, Mike McCann, he has a 90-person team. The McCann team, yeah, it's powered by KW, but it's the McCann team. I choose to use this logo because I think that this logo carries weight. But really, and my shirt says it, the KW Commercial
Mm-hmm.
National Advisory Team. I don't own this, but I do own this. The National Advisory Team is my team with my best friend, Angelo. We have over 20 brokers now. We have an operation here in the Charlotte market, South Florida, and Delray Beach. Philadelphia, we still have a team up there. which is great because they're hunting and transacting on a lot of the leads that I was working on and a lot of the repeat clients that I have up there. Also Dallas and Tulsa, Oklahoma. So that's where our 5 offices are. We are all tethered to our local KW office. That's where our license hangs, E&O insurance, all of that. But we are our own business and our own team. We have guys that focus on industrial leasing. We have guys that focus on office leasing, myself and others. Retail leasing. We do have guys that are focused on investment sales. That's their choice. They want to do it. I'm never going to say no. That being said, if they're focused on investment sales and they get a great retail lease opportunity, I'm never going to stop them from doing that deal. Never. I'm going to coach them up. I'm going to make sure I give a ton of oversight, but we do not tell people what to do or not do on any given day. And it's been awesome, man. It's been great.
That's great, man. And I can see that in how you your activity online. So you've got your national advisory, but you've also got a couple other ventures. Nightclubs suck. I see you're in a little bit of racing there. Talk about all your different things there.
It's really cool, man, because I look at my life now and I'm just a grown-up version of that 10-year-old that wanted to like take over the world. I'm not sitting there. I'm not Elon Musk. I'm not, I'm never going to sit there and ironically, I had someone take a nice shot the other day about this, saying I have an ego now. I don't believe I have an ego. I just think I'm having a lot of fun. I'm sharing my story with people so they can go have fun. But I'll talk about the brand and the racing piece first. I actually got one of my prized possessions sitting right here. This is our race car that we sponsored a few weeks ago. I turned it. It's still going to be backwards because it's mirrored on the screen. But
no, it looks great.
Nightclubs Suck is a clothing brand for endurance athletes. I myself am an endurance athlete. I've done a couple half Ironmans, a couple other triathlons. I'm training for my first full Ironman in about a month. I'm way behind training, but if you took 10-year-old me, what did 10-year-old me love? 10-year-old me wanted to create the next Nike. I've always loved clothes. I have 3 times the amount of clothes that my wife has. I've always loved clothes. But 10-year-old me also loved race cars. The reason this is such a prized possession for me is I have several NASCAR die casts the same size from when I was a kid. A really cool aha moment for me, my driver, Donovan Strauss, 2 weeks ago, I watched him during this race pass Ryan Newman, a NASCAR legend, who I have a die cast of his car that I grew up playing with when I was 10 years old. Watched him win the Daytona 500 when I was, I think, 14. To watch, if you told 14-year-old me, hey, pause the TV real quick. Ryan Newman, who's about to win this, your favorite driver, 17 years from now, you're gonna have a clothing brand. You're gonna sponsor a driver. That driver is gonna pass Ryan Newman. Like, it would have been too big to comprehend, right? But that's the way I just kind of live, man. The clothing brand, a lot of people are like, oh, you should stay focused on just commercial real estate. But then these guys go out and they hunt or golf or whatever they do. I start other businesses. I do golf. Like, I have fun, right? But my passion and my, I guess my hobby is I always want to create other businesses and things. And the reason for that, it's twofold. One, it's really fun to create and design and use those creative juices to build a clothing brand. But it's also really fun to give a 22-year-old, my business partner, Clayton, who I met at a bike shop, an opportunity to quit a job that, I'm sorry, but it had a ceiling, to build something that has no ceiling. And I have a buddy that owns a clothing brand that I bought this building with, Haven Golf Company, who quit his job at Amazon where he was making more than anyone I know at a W-2. Quit that job because of how well his clothing brand's going. So I'm just very passionate about the idea of the sky being the limit. And it's just a cool way to live, man. It really is.
Yeah, I like the way you put that. I own a couple other businesses too, and I tell people all the time, like, I do what I tell all my clients not to do. I'm not as focused as I should be. I told my wife the other day, I was like, I've worked in like 4 of the businesses before lunch that day. It might have just been a phone call or something, but I like the way you put that. Like, I don't have a ton of hobbies. I don't hunt. I don't fish. I mean, they just don't do it for me. Business does it for me, and that's what my hobbies are. And I've never thought of it in that way, and I appreciate you articulating it that way.
I'll give you another one that I love. And this kind of ties into commercial real estate, and it also ties into everything else I'm working on. I love to travel. I love to get out and see new places. it's really cool to go to Charleston, South Carolina, a couple hours from here for a race that we're sponsoring, sell a ton of gear, the most we've ever done in a weekend, and write that off for my business because it's a real business expense. That is the next tier of, I think, just living it to the most. Like I just love it. I love that feeling, you know?
Yep.
Sure, I worked
Business
that
is a
weekend,
lifestyle.
but I also enjoyed myself, you know?
No,
One thing
I
that we're
love
getting
that.
into right now, which is kind of cool, is wholesale and like bulk ordering. So we just did these for a home builder in Charleston. This is custom to
Nice.
them, all of their design on the inside, but this is literally like one of our hats. This is a race that we sponsored, a marathon down in Gulf Shores. This one had a little bit of our branding on the inside, but like we're just having so much fun with it, man. Really are.
Yeah, no, I can tell you're having a lot of fun. And like I said, you have a lot of fun on LinkedIn. Kind of talk about how that proliferation, that growth you've had there. You got what, 12, 13,000 followers. You're very active.
Yeah.
And even, what I like, and I think what a lot of people would like to be able to have the nerve to do is be really honest about how they feel about things online. And you do that well, I feel like.
Well, I'm not going to get fired for what I post online, right? That's the first thing for me. But seriously, I think that LinkedIn for me has been my vehicle to talk to the masses of brokers without doing a ton of one-on-one calls and having the same conversation, the same story. I also think it's the way to get out to these people and say, real quick, we all have a perception of what our lives are, what our business is, what this industry may be. Here's a completely different perspective from what you're fed every day. I had someone tell me legitimately, I'll never win a piece of Fortune 500 business, is what I was told. I'm going to take that, make it my background on my computer, go win that Fortune 500 leasing business, and go back to that person and say, remember when you said this? And you said that because these other firms tell you that, so you don't leave, because that's the only way to do that business. They'll keep 75% of your commission. That's the only way to do that business, though, is what they'll tell you. I personally believe that is the biggest sham, and ultimately I will die on the hill of, I'm going to show you that that's not the truth. I'm going to prove to you that that's not the truth. And I'm doing it through LinkedIn. And really, man, some people can hate it, whatever. The amount of people that have said, hey, I actually have a whole different perspective. I just got a 20% bump in my split after reading your post. Like, hey, I got a different split now when I generate leads. All of these things. That's why I do it, man. I do it to help people. That's it. And guess what? If people want to join our team because they know that we'll treat them better, let's go. Yeah, welcome to the team if they're a good broker.
I love it. I love it. You made a mention a couple of minutes ago about somebody saying that you have an ego, and let's just be honest, we've all got an ego to some degree. Tell me more about that interaction.
I think it was just more, a guy that I know who I really, really respect and love, who told me that or said that to me, and I personally, one sec, sorry, let me just, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Who said that to me, and I just really think that it came from them not understanding the purpose behind my posts. Like, I posted one time that I worked on a deal where me and the broker on the other end worked so hard. I mean, so hard, me and him, to get this done. Now, I'm on the 10 rep side, he's on the landlord side, so we're keeping 2/3 of the fee and they're keeping a third. That in itself, it is what it is, but I got him to tell me on the phone what he took home on the deal. I made 12 times what he made. 12 times. Even if you take that 2/3, 1/3 away from it, I still would have made 4 to 5 times what he made. And we worked just as hard. I do it for that guy. I do it so that guy can turn around and go, okay, either I'm going to try to negotiate a better deal for myself at the firm that I'm at, or wait a second, I can do these deals. I don't need this firm. Maybe maybe they do need that firm. Maybe they would have never generated that landlord side lead. Or maybe that's his, family friend or college professor, or whoever it is that owns that building that he was representing. And that person should have a wake-up call, because unfortunately, he still made a amount of money that I think anyone would be okay with, but we did not get into this business for that. We didn't pay our own health insurance. We didn't go commission only. We didn't take all these risks, make it 10 times harder to obtain a mortgage because we're self-employed.
Yeah.
To get treated like that,
Yeah,
It's
it's
just,
interesting you hear you describe that because a lot of times as entrepreneurs, I mean, let's be honest about it, we kind of pity the W two person because we
yeah,
know that the lifestyle is way better on this side, and that they
it
do that
is.
for the security of it. And so, essentially, what you're arguing, if I may put words in your mouth, is that the large, joining the large office is the equivalent of W two in this industry. It's the warm blanket. It's the security.
Yeah, and I genuinely believe that you can earn millions working at these firms. I want to be so clear on that. But with the exact same skill set, and I understand we're salespeople, but if you went and became a partner at an accounting firm, right? And you're crazy invested in the business development of that firm, you're getting a W 2 plus bonus, plus benefits, plus probably a company car, uh, uh, an expense account, all of these things. And you can make millions there too, but you didn't have to go through nearly the risk to get there. If you're going to take the risk, you need to maximize your income. I'm actually going to post exactly that right after this. If you're going to take the risk, you need to maximize your income.
No,
Like,
love it.
seriously, though,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
you
So
know?
while you're making a LinkedIn post, feel
I'm
free,
just
go
writing that as a
forward,
note.
please.
I just wrote that
Yeah.
as a note. I'm gonna add to it, but you're
Well, I
good.
have noticed is that I've gotten more LinkedIn focused and stuff like that. It's like it's retraining your mind that as you see certain circumstances or certain situations, or even just walking down the street and have a certain thought, it it becomes framed in your mind as, oh, that would be an interesting LinkedIn exploration or post or something like
Yeah.
that. So staying on that topic, talk about your LinkedIn advice, like where you started, where you figured out, like where did you start to accelerate, and kind of talk about that.
So I saw an article the other day. I don't know if it was in the Wall Street Journal. I read the journal every day, but I don't think this was on there. I don't read too much other news. But anyway, I saw an article the other day talking about LinkedIn and how something around 45% of all LinkedIn posts today are now AI and they're slop. And
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
it, and I know it, and we could see right
Hmm.
through it. By the way, I always think it's so funny the cadence of AI. It would say something like this: being a commercial real estate broker isn't just risky. It's like that's how AI talks, and you're like, come on, man. So for me, I just started posting my thoughts. I just started posting my exact thoughts. Hey, I look back at my life over the last decade. I graduated college at 21. I'm 31. I look back at my life over that last 10 years. Here's what I did. Here's why I did it. Here's where I am now. And here's the way I look at this industry, entrepreneurship, sales in general. And all I do every day is just post what's on my mind. I post things that happen to me, and I post thoughts that I have. And that's it. And it's been now, it's been great because the people that, you know, love this content, they really love this content, and they engage with me. We talk about it. Again, they take something and bring it back to their day to day life. I have a ton of people in my world on LinkedIn that they're not even in commercial real estate. They never would. They would never take the risk. But I give some good sales advice, is at least what they tell me. So I just post what's on my mind, man. And like you said, it could be me walking down the street. It could be a transaction. It could be advice my dad gave me. It could be anything. But I'm going to turn around and share it, because why wouldn't I share it?
No, no, 100%. And you talked about, a lot of people love it, and it sounds like a lot of people don't like it too. And
Yeah,
that's, I was about to say that's equally as valuable, but it's actually more valuable because that's what that's what the algos are attracted to. But
totally.
a lot of people are posting online what they want you to think they're thinking, as opposed to what they're actually thinking. And like you said, similarly with the AI, people can see through that right away.
No commercial real estate broker is waking up, reading the CoStar news, getting really juiced about that CoStar news, turning around and putting it out there for any other reason than they want you to give them business. There's no other reason. No one's like, oh my God, it's just so exciting to see what's going on. And I'm sorry, but like, if people want to say that they are really, really genuinely excited about that, and that's why they posted that, I'm going to say 99 out of 100 of them are lying. They just want to put on this facade so they can earn more business. Well, I'm going to earn your business by being real. I'm going to earn your business by being exactly me. I'm not going to hide my tattoos from you. I'm not going to hide who I am from you. I'm going to come be myself. I'm great at what I do. I can put me up against anyone. I'll tell you right now, I'm not saying I'm better than anyone, but you can put me at the same level as any other broker that does what I do. Okay? Past that, I'm going to probably care more. I'm going to be way more responsive. And I'm definitely going to, without a doubt, tell you the exact truth right to your nose. Look, I know that you guys think that we should be able to land the deal here. Here's all the reasons why we can't. I'd rather be honest with you than tell you I can go get something I can't. I will under-promise and over-deliver every single day versus vice versa. Real quick to the investment sales brokers out there.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone and their mother knows that they hate going up against other brokers who buy listings, meaning, oh, your listing, it's worth $5 million. It's worth $4 million, but they tell you it's worth $5 million so that they earn that listing and they work someone down. No one likes that guy. I will not be that person. On the tenant rep side, I'm going to tell companies exactly what they should expect from my experience and from what I've seen in the market.
Love it. All right. So we're right at about 30 minutes. Try to keep these brief. I know you're a busy guy. One last question. All right. So you've obviously got a lot of energy. You're willing to go beat down a door, shake trees, all the metaphors for sales. Where does that come from? Have you developed that, or is that just the way you were born?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, in general, and one of my teammates posted this the other day, I do not believe that you need to be a student athlete to be successful. That's freaking ridiculous. But I do believe that if you were a student athlete, especially a college student athlete, I think that you are in a different mindset and set up for success a lot better than if you weren't. Again, I'm not saying that you can't be. I'm just saying if you're used to, you could study the playbook, you can hit the gym, you can prepare yourself all day, and then you could break your ankle. You could literally go through an entire summer of just putting all of your time into something and then get injured. Or, my example is amazing. I transferred to a new university where I met my best friend. I'm a lefty attackman in lacrosse. I wasn't the best player on the planet, but I was pretty darn good. Transferring to a brand new program to be their starting lefty attackman. Well, guess what? A month after I decided I was transferring, already signed, an all-American lefty attackman from another school, Adelphi, transferred in. And guess who ended up becoming our starter? Him. He was better than me. That taught me a life lesson, big time, of you can prepare. There are things that are out of your control, right? There are things that are out of control. I assumed I had the job. Didn't stop me from preparing. I was still grinding like I didn't. But at the end of the day, it might not be my job. So I think that being a student athlete prepared me a ton, but also my parents, man. My parents, I was taught from a young age. My dad was a professional skateboarder. He was not in the X Games. My dad's not a multimillionaire. I always have to tell people that. Because again, the assumption is, oh, Ty's doing super well because either his dad's in the business, because I have a super common last name in this business, or my dad, in some way, or my parents in some way gave. Absolutely not. But my parents taught me from a young age that you should go after, what's exciting to you and what you want to go do. And I think I do have a copy right here. My dad was born in Budapest, Hungary with nothing. Came to this country at 7 years old, couldn't speak English, got bullied and got the crap beat out of him. Let me think here. 10 years later, he's on the cover of the Guinness Book of World Records. That's my dad.
Well, that's cool, man.
As a professional skateboarder, one of the best to ever do it, especially, maybe the best to ever do it in his specific events that he did. No one would have ever told you in the 70s to become a professional skateboarder.
Yep.
Like no one would have. To the same point, when I told my dad I was quitting my W-2 job to go for this, he looked at me and he's like, about damn time. So I just
that sums it up right there.
Yeah, man. So
yeah. All right. I love that story. Thank you, Ty.
Of course.
Love bringing in the family part of it too. All right. Anything else people need to know about you or that you want to share before we wrap it?
I think the only other thing I would say is when you are looking at any opportunity, a lot of people will tell you, I'll use the commercial real estate example. Go speak to 5 different firms is what they would tell you. If all 5 of those firms are all publicly traded firms, they all have a similar makeup. Maybe they have a property management arm. If they all have a similar makeup, you're not really doing yourself any service by doing that. Go speak to 5 completely different setups. Go speak to a 2-person firm. Go speak to a boutique shop that's got 20 people and only transacts in one area. Go speak to those big firms. But it's that with anything. If you're going to go, look at houses, for example. I don't know. You're going to buy a house. I would say go look at 5 different types of houses. If you're going to go buy cars. And in anything in life, get a bunch of different perspectives and truly keep an open mind. So the one thing that we do as humans is we always have that favorite one, even though we're keeping an open mind. If you can approach everything with a truly open mind and no bias to yourself, you're going to find some things in life that you would have never found, some hidden treasures and gems that you may never have found.
That's great. Perfect way to end it, Ty. I appreciate it, man. How can people contact you?
Best way for me, man, is LinkedIn. Go message me on LinkedIn. The DMs are open. I talk to people all day on there. I set up calls from there. That's the best way for sure.
That's great. Thanks, Ty. Thanks for being here, and look forward. We'll have to do this again soon. I have to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to stop by and check out that office. Actually.
Well, let's go down and play golf, man. Remember, right down the street, we can hit some golf balls. Let's do it. I would love for you to come out here.
I would love to spray the golf ball all over whatever golf course you take me to. Then,
I'll
I do
spray it
here.
worse. I promise you that.
All right, man. Talk to you soon. Thanks, Ty.
All right. Thanks, Forth.